America's higher education world is stepping into 2026 with some of the strongest universities ever. And if you're dreaming about studying in the U.S., this list is your roadmap. Today, we're looking at the top 10 universities in the United States for 2026, along with their vibe, their achievements, and even the kind of scores you need to get in. Let's get started. At number 1 sits Princeton University, a quiet Ivy League gem in New Jersey that somehow beats every big name every year. Princeton is famous for math, engineering, economics, and public policy, and 2026 is no different. The acceptance rate is razor sharp at around 5%, and most students walking in have near-perfect GPAs and SAT scores in the 1500 to 1580 range. Its campus looks like a movie set. Its professors are global legends, and its alumni list looks like a history book. Next is MIT, the tech dreamland in Cambridge. If you've ever imagined building robots, cracking code, or launching rockets, this place is basically heaven. MIT continues to top science and engineering rankings in 2026. The acceptance rate sits at around 4.5%, and if your math score isn't close to perfect, MIT usually says thank you. Next, students describe MIT as stressful, chaotic, and completely life-changing. And that's why some of the biggest innovations in AI, space tech, and biotech usually start right here. Number 3 brings us to Harvard, another Cambridge giant. Harvard is the oldest college in the U.S. and still one of the strongest. Whether you want business, medicine, law, or politics, this university has shaped world leaders for centuries. The acceptance rate is about 4%, and almost everyone admitted has a 4.0 GPA. Harvard Yard, the iconic red brick campus, still pulls students from more than 100 countries, making it one of the most diverse learning hubs in America. Moving to California, Stanford lands in the 4th spot. Stanford is where Silicon Valley's heartbeat lives. Google was born here, Netflix was created by its alumni, and even the early internet came from Stanford minds. The scenery is beautiful, the weather is perfect, and the competition is brutal. With around a 4% acceptance rate, most incoming students have SAT scores between 1510 and 1570. Stanford is basically the Hollywood of education, where every student hopes to build the next big thing. At number 5 is Yale University in Connecticut. Yale is known for its world-class drama school, its unbeatable law program, and its old-world architecture. Students love Yale for its strong community feel through its residential colleges. With an acceptance rate of around 5% and SAT scores hovering between 1480 and 1560, Yale picks only the brightest and most balanced students. Some of America's presidents and top writers grew right here. At number 6 is the University of Chicago, also known as the land of Nobel Prize winners. UChicago is intense, academic, and famous for changing how the world thinks about economics and science. Students walk in expecting long nights, deep debates, and some of the hardest coursework in the country. The acceptance rate stays around 4 to 5%, with SAT scores usually above 1500. At number 7, we meet Duke University from North Carolina, a campus that mixes Ivy League academics with sports madness and Southern charm. Duke's strongest areas include medicine, engineering, and business. The acceptance rate is around 7% and the SAT range is a solid 1520 to 1570. Duke graduates often end up in global leadership, tech, or healthcare roles. At number 8 is Johns Hopkins University in Maryland, the place behind some of the biggest medical breakthroughs in the United States. If you're dreaming of becoming a doctor or a public health expert, this is the university people talk about with pure respect. The acceptance rate is around 6%, and the typical SAT range is 1530 to 1560. Hopkins graduates are found in research labs, operating rooms, and global health missions across the world. At number 9 is Northwestern University, bringing Chicago back into the spotlight. Northwestern is famous for journalism, business, engineering, and performing arts. The acceptance rate lands around 8%, and SAT scores usually fall between 1510 and 1560. With its lakeside campus, 2 cities around it, and a deep alumni network, Northwestern students get both the academic push and the creative freedom they need. At number 10 is the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, home to the world-famous Wharton School of Business. Penn is a perfect mix of history and innovation. Founded by Benjamin Franklin, the university attracts entrepreneurs, future CEOs, nurses, policymakers, and researchers. The acceptance rate stays around 5%, and students usually bring ACT scores of 34 to 36 or SAT scores in the mid-1500s. And that's a wrap on the top 10 universities in the U.S. For 2026, from historic Ivy Leagues to fast-paced tech hubs, each school offers a unique path to greatness. No matter where you dream of going, the journey starts with a single step. Thanks for watching.